Poll finds Democrat support for President Biden has plunged over just the past few weeks. As the Israel-Hamas war has taken center stage, 75% of Democrats now back the president versus 86% just last month. And when it comes to voters overall, President Biden's approval dipped to 37%, matching a record low. Let's bring in White House columnist for The Hill, Niall Stanage. Niall, help me break all of this down. Niall, Gallup polling finding the lowest level of support among Democrats since President Biden was elected. The very same poll back in March found Democrat sympathies for Palestinians now outweighs that of Israelis, 49% to 38%, a drastic difference from 2 decades ago when Israel had majority support. Is there a connection to that in this recent drop, or are there other factors in play?
I think it's primarily being driven by exactly the issue you mentioned, Nick. And I think this is a fascinating issue because it's a really clear example of how foreign policy and American domestic policy and politics intersect. What we're seeing over a long period of time is younger, more progressive or left-wing Democrats becoming more sympathetic to the broad Palestinian cause. So it's not only that they have a difference of opinion with President Biden, they view this conflict through a fundamentally different lens. So for President Biden, it's about standing by a U.S. ally, this sort of plucky democracy that is encircled by hostile nations and has suffered a grotesque attack. Progressives don't see it that way at all. They cite things like Israel's decades-long occupation of the West Bank, which has, after all, been held to be illegal under international law, or its long-term treatment of the Palestinians, which, after all, has been condemned by a number of international human rights organizations. So the whole way of looking at this broad conflict is different. And I think it's that schism that is driving the drop in the poll.
And Niall, that and age, I have noticed a difference just among the people within my circle, both personally and professionally. It seems as though older people are just much more aligned with maybe foreign policy issues of old, and younger just don't feel the same way. We've seen other polls that show many Democrats do not want Mr. Biden to run again, many citing his age. Is the White House still largely shrugging it all off, or have they developed a strategy to hit it head on?
They haven't honestly developed a strategy to really neutralize the age issue, because what can you do? He is the age that he is. Sometimes he shows it. Now, there is an argument about experience and being seasoned, and of course, in a situation like the current one overseas, knowing world leaders personally. But the age issue continues to drag the president down. The White House's emphasis is more on selling other elements of his record, particularly his economic record, particularly his record on job creation.
And quickly, now, before I run out of time, Democratic Congressman Dean Phillips is expected to announce his primary challenge of the president today in New Hampshire. Could Phillips, his run, become a big problem for the president, even if he doesn't actually win? I know that Phillips is one of the wealthiest members of Congress.
That's right, a net worth somewhere between $20 and $70 million. I think his challenge is a problem, not because he can win, but because he is a personification of Democratic discontent with the sitting president. And that's obviously something that can not only foment splits within the Democratic Party, but can provide political ammunition to Republicans who are essentially trying to make the same case.
And now, when you said that age was front and center, I saw a split screen between the two of them, and the difference was definitely jarring. Niall Stanage, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.